Welcome back to Let's Review, a show where we discuss the latest as well as greatest in entertainment and media alike. I'm your host, PraiseK3000, and today I'll be reviewing a film I recently watched. So the plan ahead will be to discuss the overview of the movie, meaning who made it, who's in it, and what it's about. Then we'll be moving on to the story at hand, where I usually elaborate on my thoughts towards the piece of media we're discussing, which will then lead into the final wrap up before we go, where I generally summarize all we discussed in the video. Now, let's review. Overview of the media we're discussing. The media we'll be discussing is Barking Dogs Never Bite. It is a 2000 South Korean independent dark comedy drama film. Barking Dogs Never Bite tells the story of an out-of-work college professor who is irritated by the sound of barking dogs in his apartment building and eventually resorts to abusing and kidnapping them. Meanwhile, a young woman working at the apartment complex decides to investigate this matter after she starts receiving notices from the tenants about the missing dogs. The film is directed by Bong Joon Ho, written for the screen by Bong Joon Ho, Seung-Jae and Derek Son Tae-woong. It stars Lee Seung-jae and Bae Doona. Review of the movie. So this movie to me is so thrilling. It was very unique in its approach to black comedy and drama. The story was very intriguing because the writing was superb, the performances were perfect, and the movie was a joy to watch from beginning to end. A couple moments really take you by surprise, and the movie had a lot of heart despite its initial bland exterior. It's definitely not for everyone, especially if you don't like to see or be implied that an animal may be hurt. This film may not be for you. However, the film is an enjoyable watch nonetheless, and it's definitely one you should watch out for if you either piques your interest or if you're just curious about it from my review. And now for the wrap up before we go. So my final thoughts on the film would be that it definitely swings for the fences, hits all the right spots in all the right ways that you want to watch it in. The reason why it's such a fun watch is because the director, Bong Joon Ho, who previously won an Oscar this past year for Parasite, this was his first film, and it offered a lot in surprises as well as shocking moments. And the film had me gasping a couple times with the scenarios the characters would be put in and the means to what they would be doing in particular scenes. Uh, I'm talking about the rooftop scene specifically, but nonetheless, I do want to highly give this a big recommendation if you haven't seen it already, or if you're just looking to get into new sorts of films. This was the first Korean collection of movies that I started watching, and I'm completely enjoying myself. So once again, I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it, and thank you for checking out this video. And I hope to release some more soon. Peace.